A crestfallen Jurgen Klopp can't bear to look as he walks past the trophy. Photo, Getty Images A crime scene. The deceased lying on the floor, life draining, his world ending. The perpetrator standing over him, brandishing the murder weapon. A description from Cluedo, Sergio Ramos, with the bicep, in Kiev, on the football pitch, at the Champions League final. The world. A scene of another kind, though one that is linked. A goalkeeper like the deceased, face down on the floor, his arms splayed out, as though his palms had been stapled to the grass. Another description, Loris Karius. Without his teammates, surrounded instead by Real Madrid players. The location, Kiev. The exact spot, the football pitch. The occasion, the Champions League final. Witnesses? Again, the entire bloody world. Introduce one of the greatest goals from any European final history into the course of a night which lurched from the agonizing to the humiliating for the losing team, and you understand why Liverpool did not have a chance of winning, why hope was lost just when it mattered, through a catalogue of events that were unusual if not absolutely unexplainable, or just totally wrong. Karius would appear again, only this time as a ghost. Like Mohamed Salah before him, the tears would drop from his eyes as he apologized to Liverpool supporters when all had been settled and his life sentence had been issued. Liverpool's relationship with this competition is based around the heroics of their goalkeepers, the wobbly legs of Bruce Grobbelaar and Jerzy Dudek after him. From here, Karius will endure as the goalkeeper whose two mistakes cost Liverpool their shot at immortality. It would be easy to slaughter him, but any decent human being would surely offer sympathy. No matter how bad a night it was for anyone wishing for this outcome to be different, it could not have been as bad as the one endured by Karius. For him, coming to terms with what has happened will be an enormous challenge. Whether that challenge will take place at Liverpool is another matter altogether. To explain why this experience is so flattening for Liverpool, you have to detail the contrasting moods between the sets of supporters involved. Liverpool had traveled to Ukraine in greater numbers, they were brighter in color and louder in noise. Amidst the foliage of Kiev's Shevchenko Park, the party started long before midday, and soon, the scene was a mess of bucket hats, song, celebration and unbridled communal expression. The Madrileños were reserved, many of them taking their time with their coffees and their cigarettes beneath the shade of the porticos in the city. There was no frenzy on their part and no pilgrimage on a scale like there had been from Merseyside. They know this routine better than anyone, having grown accustomed to finals, to success, to gathering cups in May the way Liverpudlians used to. The walk from the city's centre at Maiden Square included a red march all the way down Velika Vasilkivska Street. With those residents high up in apartment blocks above the Georgian restaurants serving dumplings, the Bellini's houses and the old tobacco shops must have thought at this surging sight of humanity. Liverpool supporters were so desperate to win. Reals were convinced they simply would. Liverpool were well beaten in the end, but you cannot really legislate for the number of outrageous things that went against them. Whenever they have lost this season, the autopsies have immediately focused on the defense, but Liverpool's back four performed well here, with Dejan Lovren delivering arguably his best performance since joining the club. And yet, he was still a part of a defense that conceded 3 goals. A forensic analysis sent to opponents hoping to beat Liverpool in the future based on this night alone would include the following point-by-point advice. 1. Hire a henchman, or save your time by attempting to somehow hire Sergio Ramos from Real Madrid, someone who somehow manages to balance blatant brutalism with such snidery that occasionally, when he takes a target out, only the departed knows he's been done. 2. Ensure the departed is Liverpool's best player. 3. Introduce a substitute capable of scoring an overhead kick inside 122 seconds. 4. Hope for at least 2 gifts from the opposition's goalkeeper. Inside that context, Gareth Bale and Karim Benzema were able to enforce the maximum punishment, and in the end, the margin of their team's victory could have been wider. This was Jurgen Klopp's 6th lost final in a row, but watching his team this season has been a blast. For rivals reveling in Liverpool's misfortune, particularly those who would struggle to identify what hope was even if it walked by and tried wrestling them to the ground with all the determination of a committed Ramajin, they could well do with looking beyond their own prejudices. They should think about the shared experiences Klopp has given people who follow him, including those who went all the way to Kiev, even if it might mean sleeping on the cold pavement of a street in the old Eastern Bloc. Ultimately, hope springs from the belief that anything is possible. It was not the way Klopp would have wanted it to finish, but it remains an outstanding feature of his cult. Copyright Independent News Service, Indosport.